Yo, what is up everybody? So, I decided to kind of just make this little video out there. There's plenty of better videos out there that are kind of like in better detail, better quality, but I just kind of want to kind of give my own take on it. And really is because I went ahead and bit the bullet and I grabbed me a Groovelife belt. And honestly, the what I was going for was just kind of just something new. I just really wanted to like try something new, and there was nothing wrong with what I was using beforehand. And what I was using beforehand was a typical, just simple nylon 511 belt. Now, this particular belt, it is it is the model 5955-1, and this one, just by first glance, there's almost nothing wrong with it. Really, there really isn't, and it hasn't loosened or stiffened or anything like that. I actually bought a True Spec a while back. I don't use it for this. The simple reason is like this plastic buckle that's on the True Spec, and you can kind of tell just a little bit. There's a little dirty in there. There's a lot of dirt, a lot of sweat, a lot of use. And the True Spec, it wouldn't hold the tension. It was just pure friction, and at some point it will loosen. Not something I wanted. After about a week, I give it a try, and that was all black, just kind of like matched my monochromatic look here. Because and like that's kind of like my thing. I like to wear like a lot of black, not because I'm goth or anything like that. It's just because it's easier to clean off. Like when you got a little bit of speck of brown or dirt, anything on you, it just easy comes off. And if it's a harsh or darker color, it kind of just blends in a little bit. And like just kind of like right now, like the camera looks like if this thing is blue, it's actually just a faded black shirt that I just kind of threw on. And so back to the belt. With the Groovelife, it was kind of sold on to me. A really good friend of mine, he actually has, I think, two of these. Not this particular setup. His is set up a little bit differently, but it's not that much of a difference. But he was telling me, and I think it was the Groovelife belt, that he actually got it during the Kickstarter, and same thing with their wallets. And I didn't even know they actually had wallets. And for the longest time, at the big box store, there was a little combo kit, and honestly, had I known I was gonna like this belt, I would have gone for that one. I think it was running about like maybe like $60 for the belt and the wallet. And the wallet in itself is pretty cool. And it's taken me about 6 years to go ahead and switch out from a wallet. And even right now, I'm thinking about switching it off to grab a Groovelife. And I'm not trying to like just kind of match the the aesthetic to Groovelife. It's just kind of like I like the concept, I like the idea. I'm getting out of leather, so it's one of those like, why not? And I'll be honest with you, the design was something a little different, and quite honestly, I actually like it. The magnets that are inside this sucker is actually kind of cool, and that's probably like one thing where people like want to like that probably have like a little bit of a mental hurdle if you want to kind of like move on from your standard belt, whatever it is you're using. You're kind of like wondering if the magnets are going to hold it in place. I'm not exactly a big dude. I'm a fairly sizable guy, but I'm not like the biggest one there is. And I'll be honest with you, and right around, you could actually see where it's like divoting a little bit. That's where I hook this little, I'm going to say it's kind of like a carpenter's utility bag. It's not exactly a bag, but it's something you can get at Home Depot, you get it at Lowe's, you can even get it at Ace Hardware. It's just a cobalt bag that has one big pocket to like, I guess throw in like a drill or a hammer, anything like that. And then there's like a sleeve pocket. I leave it there at work, so I don't really bother bringing it home with me. And if I did, I probably left it in one of my vehicles. It kind of doesn't really matter. And that thing holds my phone, my device that I need, a few cutters, a marker, and my gloves that kind of clip onto it. And that kind of rides right there at the 3 o'clock position. And since this belt has a little bit of give, let's see right here. There you go. And that's not me like slipping or anything like that. That's just me really holding the belt. And you kind of see like a little bit of give. And I like that. Like like right here, I'm trying a little hard to pinch it in place. and it doesn't have like too much stiffness, and it has a lot of give to it, and that's kind of what I liked. And then on the inside you got these little claws and then these little notches right there, and that's kind of how like the whole setup is. And the magnets are pretty good. I don't know the whole specs to it all. Yeah, it doesn't say. It's just kind of says like, you know, like, yeah, yeah, 80% polyester, 20% rubber, and you know, a 380 aluminum Teflon coating. I thought that was kind of cool. I never even looked at it until now. The 380. I carry a 380 every now and again. I just thought that was kind of funny. But that's kind of like one of the main reasons, like why I want to kind of like try it, because it was kind of a new design in my eyes. And my buddy, he had gotten like when they were launching the Kickstarter, and I think he got one of the early models like before like 100 of them went out. So that was actually kind of cool. And then they made it to the big box stores. I'm like, well, I guess they're doing well. And there's videos out there right now. They're clearly doing well. And a lot of people kind of incorporated into like trades, the everyday guy, and carrying a gun. Now I don't really carry a gun for work or anything like that, so I can't really talk too much about that. But the one thing that I did with this one, and this one, when I used to work at a local big box store, I picked it up. It was only like $15, and that was years ago. And I had this, I'm gonna say almost 10 years, more or less, and you can kind of still see it looks fine. And it still functions just fine. It was just one of those things, like I was kind of like bought into it because of the stigma of 511. You know what I mean? You know, kind of like not exactly military grade, but more along the lines of like it was good stuff. And like, you know, some particular YouTubers out there, they wear 511s or they wear Cry, stuff like that. I wasn't in the service, or I'm not a veteran of any types. I just kind of like the gear, and it's actually kind of cool. And honestly, it hasn't failed on me. And the one guns that I'll carry for EDC, like we have a full size Stoeger STR9, and in a custom holster. And then another one that I carried like pretty early on, when like after I got my CCW, and then I started carrying, was a Taurus 605 357, again with a custom holster, only because I just couldn't really find one that I actually liked. I'm not the biggest fan of leather when it comes to holsters and all that, but it's fine, honestly. And that one kind of rode on this one primarily, even though it doesn't match, kind of a savage that way. And I haven't really tried it because it is summertime, and I really do not want to, like, you know, rock a holster right now. I mean, it's only like 90 degrees outside, but the humidity down here just kind of kills you. So right now, just what I'm doing is just rocking a fanny pack with a Smith & Wesson 642 with a kind of like a insert, like it's just something that I put together. I just have some Velcro and then this little Black Hawk holster. It's just kind of in there and it's just kind of riding. It's just pure, you know, gravity and friction, really. That's kind of holding it together, but it's kind of like a simple on and off. I'm just going to work most of the time, so I don't really care. And I mean, I'm man enough to wear a fanny pack, so it doesn't really bother me too much. So that's kind of what I'm rocking right now. And the only thing where I've tested this belt for the past week or so is just wearing that little rig that I have. I want to say it's an accumulation of like 5 pounds just dangling off, and it's if I can remember, I'll probably put it in here somewhere, but I don't. The kind of setup that I use, and I'm talking, it dangles, it gets hooked onto stuff, it bangs into stuff. And one thing that I truly did like was like, and I did try to wear a holster with it. And the one thing that really sold me on the idea was the fact that it's a simple breakaway. Unlike your conventional belt, you have to like rub the excess on the front, you know, pull that one, adjust it, and then reweave it, and then put it back in. This one, like I haven't done the cut, I just kind of keep it there for no reason, just because I want to, and I'm good to go. And like that was actually kind of like one plus for me. I just straight up just undo it, just undo the thing, and you're golden. And it just slips right off and slips right in. And the guys that wear the same little rig that I have at work, I see them, they undo their belt and then they flops out and then they just throw the excess and then bring it back, like weave it and then adjust. This one you cut to your own spec and you can adjust through here as well. It's a little tight, but that's kind of what you want, and you're solid. And that was like one of the biggest selling points for me. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give it a shot. And I had the choice of just, you know, kind of like an all black one or with the American flag. So obviously I went with the American flag just because I'm dope that way. So, and that's kind of like my own thing. And like I said, I'm not gonna try to really break this thing. I mean, I paid with it with my own money. I'm gonna have it registered just in case, but I'm not trying to break this thing. I don't need this thing to straight up do 5 different things. You know, I just needed to just do the one job that it was built for correctly. And so far as doing that, I haven't really gotten to the point where I have to adjust it on the fly or anything like that. It actually holds up, and I'm wearing between jeans, 511 pants, and Wranglers of like different of different types of Wranglers. Really, I got 2 pairs of Wranglers that I use for work. I think I don't remember which ones they are, but they're not like cotton. They're not like the like jean material. The jeans are just regular, you know, $10 ones you get there at Walmart, and the 511s, they're fairly great. I think I have one that's just a 511 ripstop, and then a typical 511 one, only because like I kind of carry, you know, I got a multi-tool, I got a, you know, a box cutter that I now use as an EDC knife. I have a flashlight with me just in case. And then I got my J-Labs with me. Then I got my keys and an infinity ring. So it's just one of those things. I carry a lot of stuff in my pockets because I used to carry a lot more stuff, but I kind of like slimmed it down to a little bit of a minimalist thing. I don't even carry a lighter anymore. I have them everywhere, but I just don't carry them. And that's kind of where I'm at as far as an EDC would go. And quite honestly, I'm happy with it. I'm not trying to break it. Like I said, I'm just trying to just wear it. That's kind of all I wanted it to do, and so far it's doing just that. Now, there are other models out there y'all can kind of like take a look, and there's even some that I'm gonna try to like order through the website because it was just one of those things. It was just right there. I was like, all right, not bad. I got $60. Let's do this, and I gave it a shot, and I'm surprised with it, and I really like it. And I mean, yeah, you got the little scuffs and what have you, but it's gonna happen and it's gonna get worse. And I'm totally fine with that as long as like the mechanics of it just don't bust, like these little hooks, these ears that don't crack. I'm fine with it. If the magnet gives out, that's probably a different story. That's a good thing. I'll probably have it under the registry just in case if they do give out for whatever reason. I can't, honestly, I'm not the smartest guy in the world. I don't know how magnets give out, but I doubt it's going to give out. and honestly, just the ease of it, and you guys out there, like, I mean, I worked construction. It's one of those things you just you need to get to that porta john, or if you guys are like, you know, like blessed enough to have an indoor crapper, you don't want to finish no more with it. Just bust it off and drop the deuce. You know what I'm saying? That was one thing that was also a plus as well. I just didn't know how I was gonna tie it in. So like, will I say go get one? Sure, why not? Go give it a shot. You know, like, and I know that your belt is doing the job in X, Y, and Z. But how many different pairs of shoes do you have? My point exactly. And same thing to them dudes out there with a lot of guns and badass guns, and way more badass than mine. How many guns y'all got? How many holsters do you got? I mean, come on, just go and give it a shot. I got no promo codes or anything like that. It's just go and give it a shot. I'm fairly like, I'm one of those dudes, like I'm kind of a minimalist in that aspect where if it does the job fairly well, I'm probably gonna stick with it. And there's one thing that I learned from the Everything Yukon channel, like just don't get caught up in the stigma. and go check out everything Yukon as well. But still though, it was one of those things I just didn't like. I found myself getting caught in the stigma and the 511 brand. I know it, and I'm just kind of like, you know what? Let's just give it a shot. I mean, I got a bin down there full of holsters, and I don't even use them anymore. I can't even justify using them. And the reason why I don't use them is because of like many reasons. And another reason why I don't get rid of them is because I don't want to part that into somebody else's head. Like, dude, it didn't work for me. I don't know if it's gonna work for you, type of thing. So I guess for the next couple of years that I'm on this planet, because who knows when our days are up, they're gonna stick with me. Anyways, so that's kind of what I got for y'all today, and I have no other way to kind of end this other than just stay free and stay safe. All right, just stay free and stay safe out there. Y'all have a good one.